All right, people. So after Friday Nights at Freddy's having a record-breaking opening weekend in many different ways, its second weekend posted a pretty big drop, but it still did really well. Over here on 2 News, Five Nights at Freddy's posts huge second weekend drop, still wins at box office. We're going to get into that after the intro. So, of course, don't forget, like and subscribe. And here we are on 2news.com. Five Nights at Freddy's posts huge second week drop, still wins at box office. After crushing the competition at the box office last weekend, the horror video game adaptation Five Nights at Freddy's plummeted more than 76% a second weekend. That's pretty far down. When the smoke cleared, it still made enough to repeat as the number one movie, though. The fright flick about a night watchman at a defunct Chuck E. Cheese style restaurant arcade doing battle with a bevy of homicidal animatronics earned 19.4 million over the weekend. A horrifying drop from its 80 million take on the first weekend. So the movie has so far made 113 million domestically and 103 million overseas for a worldwide take of more than 217 million, and a budget of 20 million. So that's an amazing return, really. So that's why horror movies are always such a good choice, because you can make them on a moderately low budget and they always make their money back, even if it's like crap. Suffice to say, a sequel should be expected with more killer robots and band shenanigans. Over here on kitguru.com, there is reported that a Bloodborne film adaptation reportedly in the works. This isn't surprising to me, considering that Sony seems to be adapting all of their IPs. They're doing God of War, they already did Last of Us, already did Uncharted, so Twisted Metal, Gran Turismo. I mean, they're doing all of their, right now, in terms of adaptations, they have the most. I'm not saying they're the best. Bloodborne film reportedly in the works. Back in 2019, Sony formed PlayStation Productions, a subsidiary focused on adapting the console's manufacturer's many game IPs into other mediums. Since then, we have seen the successful releases of the Uncharted film, HBO's The Last of Us, Twisted Metal, and Gran Turismo. As reported by Daniel Rickman, a insider focused on the movie and TV industry, a film adaptation of the much-loved From Software developed Bloodborne is currently in the works, releasing details to their Patreon page. According to Rickman, the film is being produced by Lorenzo di Bonaventura and written by Darren Lemke, whoever that is. Di Bonaventure has a long tenure in the film industry, helping bring many franchises like Transformers, G.I. Joe, Matrix. Wow. So he's had his fingers in some good stuff. Darren Lemke, meanwhile, is best known for work on Shrek Forever After, 2015's Goosebumps, and 2019's Shazam and Gemini Man. According to Rickman, the official logline for Bloodborne reads as follows: Sony project based on the PlayStation game of the same name. Bloodborne follows the player's character as a hunter through the decrepit Gothic Victorian era inspired city of Yarnham, whatever, whose inhabitants are afflicted with a blood-borne disease which transforms the residents, called Yarnamites, into horrific beasts. Attempting to find the source of the plague, the player's character unravels the city's mysteries while fighting beasts and cosmic beings. While rather exciting in its own right, many fans have responded to the report by hoping that news of a Bloodborne adaptation means that the 2015 PS4 title could see a remaster, remake, or sequel developed in order to time with the film. Over here on MarrowStation.com, there is discussion about the season 2 of Netflix's Arcane, the exact month of release on Netflix for the second season of Arcane, one of the best animated series in history, according to Who, has been leaked. Although Riot Games has already confirmed the release window for Season 2 of Arcane the last quarter of 2024, leaker My Time to Shine has leaked the exact month it will arrive, November. Given the resume of hits of the same, we already take it for granted, and we just need to know the exact day when we can see what Jinx has done by shooting the cancel with her ultimate. I don't even remember how the last season ended. Why is Season 2 taking so long? Riot Games CEO Nicolo Lauren explained a few months ago that the studio didn't expect Arcane to succeed, so they didn't make plans for a second season after the first was released. So I just watched the third episode of season 2 before my flight to China. We're making progress on it, it's just not ready yet. And there are two reasons for that. One, you want the quality. We just want, do not to rush. We just don't want to rush, and that takes time. So that's a good reason. The bad reason is honestly we don't know if season 1, we didn't know was going to be a success. So we didn't start season 2 until, if I had known, we would have seen season 2 way earlier. But we didn't know, so we kind of waited. Now we're paying the price. No wonder at the time the doubts about it were focused on how it would approach the adaptation of a video game like League of Legends and whether it will live up to the expectations. Who would have thought that we would have been dealing with one of the best animated series in history, winner of 9 Annie Awards, whether you played League of Legends or not? Arcane is a must-see of the Netflix doc. I'd agree with that. I mean, I don't play League of Legends, but I still watch it, and I love the animation. So over here on Variety.com, different type of news, as I am going to start covering IPs that are being adapted into video games as well, because to me that just kind of makes sense. And horror movie Barbarian is getting a video game adaptation. This is a movie that I actually haven't seen, but I hear it's pretty good, so I should check it out. But Barbarian, Zach Krieger's 2022 horror hit, is getting a video game adapt treatment with a single-player, all-new narrative experience being developed for consoles and PC. Diversion 3 Entertainment, the studio behind horror video game adaptations for Friday the 13th and Evil Dead, is leading development on the Barbarian game. So it's a company that's already been doing adaptations of pre-existing game IPs. The game will be based on the characters and creatures of the movie. Starring Georgina Campbell, Bill Skarsgård, and Justin Long, Barbarian follows a young woman who books a rental home in a bad part of town only to find a man already staying there, convinced that the nearby hotels are all booked up due to a local conference. And because it's late at night, she decides to share the rental with a stranger against her better judgment. Soon she discovers there is a lot more to worry about than an unfamiliar housemate. So, a release date for the game has yet to be announced. We're very excited to work with the team of New Regency to expand on the settings, characters, and creatures of Barbarian. Creatures? Does that mean there's creatures in that? Because I've actually never seen it, so I don't know. The film did a magnificent job of not only scaring audiences with its expanded and horrifying twists and turns, but also establishing strong characters thrown into terrifying situations. We look forward to exploring these themes further in the game. Yari Milchan, chairman and CEO of New Regency Pictures, added, expanding the Barbarian universe into gaming provides a new way to capture the horror that made the film a success. We're thrilled to collaborate with the incredibly talented team at Diversion 3 to immerse new and existing fans in the world. So that's all the news in the video game adaptation world for today. This is my weekly roundup, one day late, so it's actually Monday, but this is for last week. I'll see you this Sunday for my proper weekly roundup and any other news that pops up during the week. Like and subscribe and let me know what you think about any of these new reports. Are you interested in any of these things that have been announced, or do you not care at all? Beyond that, please keep gaming.